Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds, and remember, if you were on YouTube, hit the bell. If you were on TikTok, go ahead and follow. Well, I'm out for a kayak today, and I figured I'd just sit here in the river for a while and chat to you guys. This is kind of a confession, something that I didn't really want to admit to. It's about purchasing an Apple product. I have been pretty much anti-Apple for a long time. It's for a number of reasons. For the most part, I think a lot of their stuff is overpriced, and I think it used to be more overpriced than it is today, to be honest. Because if you look, for example, at the laptop that I just got, the Apple MacBook Air M1, actually, I went with, and I'll explain the reasoning there in a minute. I did not go with the M2. But that laptop, you can get it for Canadian. You can get it for around, I don't know, 11.99 or 11.69 if you get it online. Some places you can get promotions like 10, 20, 30 bucks off. I use that myself actually when I purchase things online. I'll link you up to that as well, so you can, if you want to get like 2 or 3 or 10 or 5% off of it, you can use that link. But so far I've been very impressed with this thing. My gosh, it is super fast, refined. It is the OS, the operating system is excellent. Actually, they've come a long way with the operating system. It's like, the commands are the things that really make, I think, MacBooks amazing. Once you start knowing those commands, and I've watched over the last little while lots of videos on this and tips and tricks, and it's just incredible. Like, it's just incredible how quick. And forget about even having an external mouse. You can use that wonderful trackpad that they have. Now, why did I go ahead and buy the M1 over the M2? Well, I just did a video on that. You can refer to that video if you want to. But I'll just sum it up for you. The price, the base model, which I have, it only has 8 gigabytes of memory, but it has a 256 gigabyte drive, but it's actually two 128 gigabyte drives, and they're working in tandem. So when you run out of memory, they swap back to the drives, and the drives are working together. And that's actually not the case in the base model of the M2. Remember, the M2 base model is going to be $300 or $400 more than the M1, and the M1 was an astounding laptop. It is still an astounding laptop in 2022. Believe me, I've had a lot of laptops. I've had gaming laptops. I just actually did a review on the Microsoft Surface Laptop Go 2, and I'll link you up to that review. And that was a good laptop. I mean, it is. It's great. It's even got a touchscreen. That's something that the M1 and the M2 does not have, a touchscreen, just in case, you're not aware of that. With the trackpad and with the commands and everything else that comes with the M1, you don't even notice, actually. And you don't want to touch that screen because it's a Retina display, a beautiful display. And something else with this? With all that power, and even I use DaVinci Resolve, and it's much faster. Look, as a matter of fact, I have a full out gaming rig, an Alienware gaming rig, and it has a GTX 3080 in it. It's an AMD processor. I think it's a little over 4 gigahertz. This laptop renders actually faster than that system. I don't even know how that's possible. There's people actually running complete studios, like YouTube studios, channels and stuff, using this particular laptop. Now, I'm not using for that, obviously, because I like to have like 3 or 4 displays, right? And with the M1, I'm not sure about the M2, but with the M1, you can only have one extra display. I think it's maxed out at having just one extra. I'm not sure. Maybe you could do like, the USB-C port and then split it. You probably do it that way. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to be using it like that. But if you're thinking about a laptop, and I mean, if you're into Macs, you're probably going ahead. If you're buying it in 2022, you're probably going to just go ahead and get the M2, right? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Spend all the extra money. If you get the M2, this is what I would suggest. Go with 16 gigabytes of memory and go with a 512 gigabyte drive, because that drive, the 512 gigabyte drive, will be split. At least I think it will be. There will be 2 drives working in tandem, and that will work extremely well. But you're looking at spending a lot more. So if you're happy, content with not getting that maybe 11% or 10% more, and I don't even know if you're going to get that much in real world uses. Let me tell you a secret. I'm a reviewer, and benchmarks sometimes are designed for processors specifically, designed for GPUs specifically. So benchmarks, it's just basically a guide. So when they say it's 11% or 12% or 20%, in all honesty, it's probably something like maybe half that in reality. If watching, and what kind of a user are you? Are you a power user? If you are, you're just gonna go ahead and go to the Pro, right? MacBook Pro or something, right? But this is my first dive into Apple MacBooks, and I have to say, man, I am extremely impressed. Extremely impressed. The overall build quality of this thing is just insane. Now, the only thing that I don't like on this is the webcam. The webcam isn't great, to be honest, but I'm loving the fact that it has a backlit keyboard. You can adjust the brightness of that. And, what makes it so good is the trackpad in combination with all of the shortcuts that you can do. And all you got to do is watch a whole bunch of tips and tricks videos, and you'll be able to master this thing in like 24 hours or less, even if you come from Windows. And I'm I'm a pretty hardcore. Actually, I am. That's all I've known, to be honest. Right? I'm a Windows desktop kind of guy. And laptops, I would just go to Windows laptops. Here's actually one of the main reasons why I actually got this thing. And besides all the power and the beauty and everything else behind it. Battery life on this, oh my God, it's 2 days for me. It's 3 days, maybe even 4 days for me, actually. You're looking at realistically, you're looking at probably 14 to 18 hours on this. It depends on what you're doing, of course. Now, if you're rendering videos and stuff, you're looking at, 3 or 4 hours, right? It's just insane. And you could tweak the operating system on this just like nobody's business. So don't think, if you're a Windows person, that you can't tweak it. You can. I mean, the ecosystem overall is pretty closed. Obviously, if you had an iPhone and an iPad and you had the whole, ecosystem, like everything that was Apple, then everything would work great. You could throw files into one, device to another. You can, I mean, my experience so far has been brilliant with this, like just exceptional. Absolutely wonderful. So if you're thinking about getting a laptop and you're looking for something that you need power and you need battery life and you need all the other things that I mentioned, this is definitely an option. Or of course you can go with the new one. But you should be able to get this one now, and specials that are on, you're probably going to be able to get it for States probably $8.99. Who knows, right? And here's another thing. If you don't get it, probably within another few months or within this year, Apple might discontinue it, right? Because you know what happens with that? They were pushing, obviously, the M2. So that could happen. Like, they could all of a sudden stop selling it. And you can't find it anywhere. Well, you may be able to find it maybe at eBay, Kijiji, or Craigslist or whatever, but that's another concern as well. So I'll let you know. I'll do some follow-ups on this, actually, because I know a lot of you, like I am, like I've seen a few videos of guys, just like hardcore PC Windows desktop guys like myself, and they kind of made the conversion and went over. And I mean, I'm going to still use both. I mean, I'm not going to be like a really staunch hardcore Apple fanboy or anything. I mean, I like a bit of everything, to be honest. I just hate to be in one particular system, but I didn't jump into Apple at the beginning at all because I found back then it was really, really closed up and you couldn't really, tweak it and do other things with it. But that's kind of loosened up a little bit. If you made it to the end right now, congratulations. Thank you very much. And by the way, this content, it's not difficult to make, but it does take time and devotion and dedication. And if you like to, you can be a patron. You can tip me. There's a link down below as well. Just a thanks. That's all it is. Just the thanks from you to me, and I thank you as well for watching. So I'll see you in the next one.